Maybe you can say something about how the sewing interacts with the images, because sometimes it's connecting two things, sometimes it's running through the photograph, it seems.
Right. Well, the way I came to sewing my work together was purely out of function. It was a necessity to bind one piece of paper, one photograph to another, which I know that Chris and I have that in common in terms of a functionality. And it becomes a decorative element because it's there and it's hard not to acknowledge it. It becomes its own form of line. And you see in this image particularly where you've got this linear quality to the thread that almost seems like I'm making a line that goes in there, but still at the same time, every single time I'm placing a needle to paper and creating these seams, it is always functional. Like, it is not meant to be a decorative element. All three of these lines are there to serve a function to keep paper together.
And if we could only turn it around and see the back, we'd see there's,
Right.
as it were, another work of art on the back.
Yeah, the backs become a different thing, yeah.
These are notations and things that are, this is a view of the back that
Right.
maybe you can tell a little bit about that.
I would be just as curious to know if the backs of Chris's works, if you find them just as interesting in thinking about, like, it does become a different piece of art. Like, this one is clearly the backs of photographs that are white paper, and that photographs well to present to the audience or to viewers so that they can kind of see. But typically I will use scraps of other photographs, and that will become a whole second-sided thing that happens. But any time in the process of sewing work together, when I come to a point where I need to end a line of thread and tie a knot, I make a note of the time, of the day, of what I am thinking about or what I'm watching, because I'd taken a lot of media content in the process of creation, either music or movies or television programming through my computer, and so it becomes a whole thread of what I was doing at the time. And I think in this particular note, if I remember correctly, I had just made some lentil soup, so the recipe for lentil soup is included in that, and certainly some notes about what I'm thinking. I think that I have a lot of friends and family members who have seen then works on display where both sides, and maybe I'm on the phone with my sister, for example, and she'll read that and say, I can't believe that you wrote that down on the back of your work. But it becomes a diary for me where it became a way of me being able to track how long it was taking in this process. But now it's kind of become a therapy in a way of being able to.
There's a kind of meditative aspect.